Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Early Edge. My name is Sia Nejad, otherwise known as the Counselor of Cash, and we've got a great show for you today. Of course, it will be brought to you by BetMGM, the sports book born in Vegas. I see so many in the chat already. Hit the like button if you could. Maybe you don't love the recap screen. Let's take a look at how we did yesterday. 4 wins, 6 losses, some plus money losses in here as well, including that one from the Snyper with Kikuchi over 6.5 Ks. But 4 and 6, we got to do better than that. Shout out to Calvin Wetzel, who absolutely smashed his Sky team total. I hit 2 out of 3 in the Gulf Streets. And don't forget, one of my 2 that I hit was a plus 160 3-ball winner. I've got another 3-ball for you today. So 4 and 6, but some plus money in there for you. Got to do better than that. And ladies and gentlemen, I got to be honest. I got to be totally upfront with you. Chip Patterson is on the road. He's covering some college football for the Cover 3 podcast and for CBS. So he's out on assignment. But we've got some fill-ins for BPE Friday that I know you're going to love. A lot of baseball coming your way, soccer, UFC, some PGA. You're going to get it right here on BPE Friday. We got the Snyper. We got Buckets reading, which I don't know that I've seen before. We've got some New York Giants love for some reason. And then we got Danny Brasco shadow boxing. Oh my gosh, Sniper. Is that what I think it is? Are you wearing a tie, sir?
Yes, in honor of Buckets saying he doesn't have any ties, I thought I would put one on for the show today, and it matches my shirt. So we're not going to stick with this long. I just want to do it for BPE.
Buckets, I noticed you don't have a tie, but it looks like you're sporting like a sport coat or something, or a suit jacket.
I found this at Goodwill yesterday. It doesn't quite fit me. I can't stand up because I don't wear pants when I do the show, but it's a little bit tight, but that's okay.
Danny Brasco, we don't have Chip Patterson to do a chip me up, and I'm not asking you to do one, but can you just kind of pump us up a little bit for what is going to be a good UFC card this weekend?
Let's go, baby. It's Big Pick Energy Friday. We got UFC in Abu Dhabi. Always fun in the desert when the fight cards go down there. We got Buckets wearing some sort of ventriloquist suit, Sniper with the mullet kind of tie look, right? Party or business in the front, party in the back. I mean, Amags, I'm hyped up for this show, man. Let's go. It's Friday, baby.
Amags, you're wearing the Early Edge hat that we all got at New York, at the Yankee Stadium, of course, a couple of weeks back. We got to set one of those up again very, very soon. How you doing today?
Yeah, doing great. And I'm really only wearing the hat here because I refuse to wear the hat of the team that I'll be picking today. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but I think it's about time to, stop kind of looking at all the numbers per se. We've kind of, if you've seen in the Discord, we were talking a little bit about it with some of baseball betting. Just think with your brain for a minute and make a play. So that's what we've done.
That sounds like a Toronto Blue Jays pick, but I actually, FYI, everybody, I don't know that for a fact. We're going to have to, oh boy, that is crazy. Where's Jeff Stenberg when you need him? By the way, Stephen Cook says he needs an Early Edge hat. Can I tell everybody, we are trying to put together some sort of giveaway, just a periodic giveaway for Early Edge merch. Larry Hartstein is in control of a lot of the hats, a lot of the shirts that we got, which are really good, like good material, really easy and good design and all that. So just keep it in the back of your mind. Those of you that want merch, we're going to give you an opportunity to get it from watching this show. But I got to say, yesterday we went like 6 or 7 minutes because Mackenzie's story about Steve and the TV stuff, we didn't get to picks until like 7 minutes in the show. So we got to go. We got to get to picks. Maybe there'll be another tie on the show. Buckets, I wish you had a tie because I do want to teach you. We got to get to that point. But first and foremost, we got to get to some picks. You have a couple of soccer picks, and they're both very easy to pronounce. Thank you, sir.
Indubitably, Sia. I'm going to be doing my best Sia lawyer impression here to give out these plays, so bear with me. Ladies and gentlemen of the Early Edge chat, it is hereby submitted for your consideration, I'm not using ChatGPT, that Mr. Sam Surridge of Nashville SC, a professional footballer of considerable repute and offensive capability, shall, in the course of tonight's competitive fixture against San Diego FC, duly register his presence upon the score sheet, whether by means of scoring a goal himself or, in the alternative, providing an assist in the facilitation of a teammate's goals. That's as good as I can do, guys. I'm taking Sam Surge to score or assist, priced at plus 125. A ridiculous line for a guy that has 15 goals in his last 12 competitive matches and a guy who has scored in 8 of the last 9. This is a crazy line. He might be a little bit tired from the MLS All-Star game, but frankly, that does not matter. I rest my case, Sia. Oh, shit. I have a second bet. Whoops. Not going great here, guys. I have a second play as well.
Counselor?
Yikes. Columbus Crew versus Orlando. Columbus Crew.
This is the chip me up everybody wanted. So, Counselor, you still have the floor.
Columbus Crew over 1.5 team total is minus 135. It's a little bit of juice, but they score so much at home. Sia, those are the 2 bets.
Yeah, we might have to declare a mistrial here because that went off the rails pretty quick. Sniper,
like on my cousin Vinny when he keeps getting held in contempt for cussing in court.
Ooh, take this jacket off. I don't think I've heard that today.
It wasn't very Daniel Alistair Caffey. Like, all right, so just so everybody knows, that second pick was Columbus Crew over 1.5 team total at minus 135. The first pick was Sam Surridge to score or assist at plus 125. All right.
Yeah,
we got that covered thanks to Buckets Esquire, Mr. Buckets Esquire. Sniper, let's change the tune here from soccer to baseball. You got some bouncing back to do from yesterday, but I do respect the Kikuchi play at plus 110. It kind of fell off for him, in the 4th inning? Or was
he had 4 strikeouts to 3, so we were in good shape. And then
he looked great.
The Tigers were up 1-0 through 5. And then got outscored 11-0 the rest of the game. So we can talk about that series when it gets to Amags. But I did want to say to the football fans here, which is everybody I think except Buckets, happy Brian Piccolo days to NFL opening night.
41
for the Bears right there. I am going to Amags mention teams being hot right now, and let's not try to get cute. So yes, I'm going to go right to Milwaukee and play the Brewers run line. They are 22-6 since June 17th, which sounds absolutely ridiculous. They just went out after the All-Star break out west, had to face the Dodgers. They swept them there. Had to face the Mariners. They won 2 out of 3 there and blew their doors off on Wednesday. They got a day off Thursday. They're facing the Marlins at home with Freddie Peralta on the mound. He's won each of his last 7 starts. I was going to play Freddie Peralta to get the win, but it's not up right now. Maybe it comes up later in the day. I'm not confident. I think the books are going to leave that one off. It's at 4:10 Eastern. But the Marlins, I know they're playing well right now. That makes me like this one even more because unlike with the Brewers, I do not believe in the Marlins. I don't think they're going to keep it up. So Brewers going to run away with this one. It's going to be easy. Getting the plus 100 there on the run line, I absolutely love it. Then we're going to travel just a little bit south down the highway to Chicago, to the south side. We've got to go through Chicago on the Dan Ryan, and we're going to get to the south side, and we're going to take the Cubs there. And we're going to, again, not be too cute, and we're just going to play the run line here. It's close to even money. Yes, the White Sox have been really, really hot since the All-Star break. They're 5-1. They completely destroyed the Pirates for a series. Then they took 2 of 3 from the Rays. So the White Sox are looking really good right now, but they're not good enough to keep that up. The Cubs are a much better team. Speaking of not being able to keep it up, Adrian Hauser on the hill for the White Sox has a 1.89 ERA. He's not good enough for that. His career ERA was 4.21 heading into the season. The Cubs absolutely feast on right-handed pitching. They hit better on the road than at home. Shota Imanaga on the mound for the Cubs, 4-1 with a 1.78 ERA since he returned from injury. It's 1.33 on the road all season. Cubs on the run line. Let's not get cute.
All right, let's not get cute. We got the Cubs and the Brewers both on the run line. We've got some questions in the chat, which, Sniper and Amags, I'm going to get to both of you on this one. Mark Martin says, Sniper, Amags, Atlanta team total under 3.5. Any thoughts there with Eovaldi on the mound for the Rangers, I believe?
Yeah, I played the Rangers on the run line on SportsLine. The Braves, as I said in my entry on SportsLine, we need to quit looking at the Braves and thinking about past years. They're just a bad team. They're at this point, they're 2-4 since the All-Star break. They're 18-31 on the road. They're 6-12 in July. Every single thing about them screams bad team. And Eovaldi versus, I believe it was Joey Wentz on the mound is major mismatch pitching. The Rangers are hot right now. I'm playing the Rangers on the run line, but I could see Braves under 3.5 as well.
Amags, do you like this one as well? Again, this is not an official play. It's a question from the chat. But can I just ask, because I haven't looked at the standings in a few days, The Texas Rangers look like a team that just might emerge and all of a sudden be in the conversation in a month or so. Am I like way off there, or do they have a shot? Because they do seem to be playing better.
No, I do agree. And as I'm looking at this one, I actually just wanted to look at, we have the Rangers 8-2 in their last 10. So certainly kind of going in a bit of a different direction than the Braves. I actually was just looking too. So Evaldi plus 165 to record the win. I think that is a solid look. I do like the under on the team total there, as you talked about. But I also think maybe like first 5 under. I don't know about full game under, but there's something to like about Joey Wentz. The Braves were the team that drafted him. He's now back there. They've retooled him a little bit. So I wouldn't jump at some face value numbers maybe in him from previous year. Mm-hmm. I do think there's a little bit of something to like.
Okay. Good advice there. Buckets, did you have something? I thought I saw your hand up earlier, Counselor.
Oh, I just assumed you had questions for me and then you didn't. So I'm just kind of sitting here now.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. By the way, congratulations, Buckets. You did hit the Fernando Tatis home run pick yesterday. You realize that?
Oh, the guy who hadn't hit one in his last 24 or whatever.
Something like that. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. No, yeah. I totally didn't steal that from Ken. So
you definitely did not steal that word for word from Mackenzie Brooks about 5 seconds after she gave out that pick. So another shout out to Mackenzie, the SportsLine model, and everybody over there that's working behind the scenes with that SportsLine model, because it just remains absolutely red hot. We got more home run plays to give out, but I do want to remind everybody the MGM promos, they are fast and furious. BetMGM account holders will receive a no sweat token to apply to any bet on any sport. That means if you lose your bet, you'll get a bonus bet back only at BetMGM. We got a lot to cover. Danny, I think we got to go to you next for some UFC picks. I got to give out my PGA pick. Of course, Amags has his pick for baseball, home run props. A lot to cover. We'll do it right after this message from our partners.
Get ready.
Wait a second. I thought we were going tubing.
All 3 Sonic the Hedgehog movies and Knuckles are now streaming on Paramount+.
And everyone loves it.
Every adventure.
Just try to keep up.
Every face-off.
This ends now.
And every moment that will have you saying,
"Where have you been my entire life?"
It's showtime!
All 3 Sonic the Hedgehog movies and the entire Sonic universe are now streaming on Paramount+.
We're back on BetMGM, on the Early Edge, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. I do want to read one more time. You all have the opportunity to give out a pick on the Early Edge. It's courtesy of the Fantasy Football Today Draft-a-thon, and it's to help raise money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. We will definitely have the link in the YouTube description, in the podcast description. But again, the auction is open, so you can come in and bid and come onto this show with this cast of clowns today and give out a pick, which I think will be really fun. We did it the last couple of years, and it's just a really, really good experience. So do not forget that is open for everybody to bid on. And again, all proceeds go to St. Jude. Ben has already put the link to bid in the chat, so definitely check that out. All right, Danny Brasco, let's move to some UFC. What do you have for this weekend?
All right, well, hopefully I got some winners because I know you guys keep me to a high standard. We were on a pretty solid streak over a couple months. Last 10 haven't really gone our way. I was 1-3 last appearance, tried to bring a lot of picks. 3-7 in the last 10, always own the losses. Here comes some wins, guys. Let's get back after it. I'm going with bread and butter stuff here. Couple big favorites on this UFC Abu Dhabi card. I'm going to take their methods. My method plays have been working a little better than my money line plays recently, and see if we can cash that way and get some good value. So first up, let's go with Carlos Leal to win by knockout here. He's facing a 41-year-old kickboxer and Muslim Salikov that's very skilled, known for his spinning wheel kicks and his crazy attacks. But skill for skill right now, and it's certainly like physical, what's the word I'm looking for? Strength for strength. Leal is just so much heavier of a hitter than Salikov. I think he's going to be able to walk him down, use that pressure. And when he hits, it's going to hurt a lot more than when Salikov hits him. So look for his shots to thud and for Salikov's shots to glance off the guard of Leal. That pressure is going to mount, and eventually he's going to find a knockout shot, I think. So Leal by KO, -125, getting a -500 favorite down by him, finding that knockout shot, which is usually his win condition. So give me Leal to start it off. Next up, I'm going with sort of an experience check here, and I'm taking Asu Almabayev on the money line at -115. I think he's going to be able to beat a really intriguing young prospect in Jose Ochoa. Ochoa's got a snappy, explosive kickboxing style, but I wonder about his wrestling defense. Almabayev is this relentless, tenacious chain wrestler that will hunt for takedowns nonstop. He has great conditioning. He can weaponize his cardio. And I think we're getting a discount on him because he's coming off a knockout loss to Manel Kape. Manel Kape is an elite flyweight striker. The guy has crispy hands. I'm not too down on Almabayev for losing that one. Ochoa, like I said, really high on him in the UFC. I think he's an intriguing prospect, but I'm not sure if he has the wrestling defense to stave off Almabayev. I think takedowns and control win him this fight. So I like Almabayev. I also like him to win by decision at plus 160 if you want to sprinkle a prop there. And then finally, this is going to be a featured fight on this card. I'm going with Shara Bullet by knockout. Shara Magomedov, we got a guy that's coming up to a minus 600 favorite now, down to minus 135, but we take him to get the knockout finish. And I think he's got a good opponent to do it against here. This is a guy that fights with a glass eye, y'all. I mean, he literally is not allowed to fight in the United States. He's only sanctioned to fight in Abu Dhabi. So typically he's going to get favorable matchups. Last one was not that. He faced a very tricky striker in Michael Venom Page, a guy that will put you in the matrix with his movement. And Shara, who's an extremely skilled kickboxer, was in the matrix. He couldn't find him. He just couldn't track him down. He gets a way different matchup this time around and got a guy in Marc-Andre Barriol. That's just this pressure fighter that wants to make the fight dirty, get in your face. He's there to get hit, though, if he's not able to drown you, get the fight nasty, and, to get his takedowns, get to the clinch. And I think Shara is going to be able to keep him off him, stay bouncy on the feet, land kicks to every level, and eventually find maybe a looping hook that gets through the guard and puts Barriol away. A guy whose pressure style has worked against him, been knocked out 2 of his last 3 fights. So I think it's a good setup for Shara. I think he gets the knockout win, and I think he stamps a fun UFC Abu Dhabi card with a big highlight. See ya.
All right, we got 3 solid picks, a little bouncing back from Brasco. But Brasco, like you said, you and Snyper, I mentioned the words bounce back. You guys have been great all year. You've got certainly more wins than losses. So when you do this for an entire season or an entire year, you're going to have some losses. You're going to have some wins. Good stuff coming from Danny Brasco. All right, we got to get to our home run props. And Amags, we got to get to your pick. I'm going to go ahead and give out my golf pick real quick. Can I just say, I wasn't sure if Buckets was going to bring a tie or not. And so I brought a tie. So I'm going to give out my pick, and I'm just going to show Buckets how to tie a tie, which is it's going to be a little awkward because I've got like wires behind me. And I don't know if I'm going to be pulling on something or what have you, but we're going to go at it and give out a 3-ball in Buckets. When you have a tie, we can kind of do this again. Is that good?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Buckets Esquire. Okay. I'm going to the 3-ball streets this afternoon. We're going with Emiliano Grillo plus 120. Over Luke List and Zach Johnson. This is a case of, I don't know that I'm super in love with the number necessarily as much as I'm in love with the matchup. I will certainly take the plus money on a guy that I think is still live to win this tournament. When it comes to Luke List and Zach Johnson, first of all, Luke List hasn't been very good, although he did flash at the Barracuda a little bit last week. When it comes to Zach Johnson, he actually has been pretty good, but look at the strokes gain metrics for Zach and Luke List yesterday, and look at what Grillo did, and look at Grillo's history here at this particular tournament, the 3M Open. He's just rock solid. He was rock solid with the strokes gain metrics yesterday, and I just don't see a guy like Zach Johnson, who does flash from time to time. I don't see a guy like Zach Johnson scoring in the capacity that Emiliano Grillo is going to score. So give me the plus money. Emiliano Grillo plus 120 over Zach Johnson and Luke List. I think we've hit, by the way, 8 out of the last 9 on the early edge golf picks. So we're going for 9 out of the last 10. We lost our first one yesterday when we hit that 2 out of 3. How did I do? How's the tie look? I haven't been able to look.
It's great.
Lovely.
Well,
we go double Windsor now there, Sia?
What'd you say, Brasco?
Can you go double Windsor knot on the fly, or just go, what's the style?
There's just no need for a double Windsor knot. This is actually the perfect knot. We don't need to get into the excesses of double Windsors when we've got what we need right here. Buckets, next time you come prepared with a tie, and we'll just do this tutorial together.
Sia, have you ever felt extremely out of place in life? Like you go into a building or you're in a call or something, you just tell that you're not supposed to be there?
Yep. Sure.
Okay, that's just how I feel right now. I just feel like irrelevant for some reason after watching that. That was very impressive.
I appreciate that. Again, what class is in session? We get to do this. Sia taking them to school, says Joe Everett. Okay, if this isn't a reason, just we're going to pander a little bit to just the early edge podcast, People's Choice Podcast Awards. Drop the link in the chat if you could, Ben, or maybe just drop the imaging here. we have another week to vote for the early edge for best male hosted podcast. This is not in the sports category. It's in like the general category. We've got the instructions. They're pinned in my profile. Ben has them here. And of course, we'll put them in the YouTube and podcast description. But it's so easy. It takes 60 seconds or less. I think half of you have already done it. But again, all you have to do is go to podcastawards.com. You click on that blue button, sign up to vote now. You put your email in and a password that gets erased after voting closes. Again, 60 seconds or less. I promise you, everybody in the chat can vouch for this. You go to best male hosted podcast, you click on the early edge, and you're done. You can go to best sports podcast, vote for Chips podcast or fantasy football today, cover 3. You can go to that category. But this is a really cool category. We're up against the Kelsey brothers. We're up against Jon Stewart's Daily Show. It would be really cool if you advance us to the finals, the early edge best male hosted podcast. All right, enough of a plug there. We got to get Amags to your pick. I think it's a surprise pick. So go ahead and lay it on us.
Yeah, total surprise, especially if you're a SportsLine subscriber, because this one was already out on the SportsLine website. And I mentioned this towards the end of what I had written up. It was that I don't want to overthink this, especially at this price. You're getting minus 105, right near that even money number for a team in the Blue Jays that have been scorching hot. And yes, I do know, I don't want to throw this hat on, but I know all too well how good this Blue Jays team has been. But it really just feels like two teams kind of going in opposite directions. We actually just saw the Blue Jays now with their win last night tied for the MLB lead in wins with the Brewers. It's not the Dodgers, right? It's not the Tigers that we were talking about, for the whole first half and how incredible they were. It's the Blue Jays. It's the Brewers, the team that Snyper picked. And I think once again here, after the 15 hits and 11 runs last night, we saw it happen mainly in the second half of the game. I think it's just a spot where you see the price and you know that they're going to get the full 9 at-bats here to do all of their damage. I think that the team total is in play, but I'm going to stick with the money line at this price. I think maybe we're just getting a little bit of a reduced price too, because Barrios has hit a little bit of a speed bump in July. 3 of his last 4 starts, at least 4 earned runs allowed, but he had a solid 6 innings and 2 earned runs, quality start earlier this season against this team. And again, I just think it's two teams going in opposite directions. You've got some numbers that, makes Detroit look good at home, but a lot of that came from what they did in the first half. And you've got some numbers here that we've actually seen that the Blue Jays picking up recently and improving. So I'm going to take this price all day if you're going to give me the Blue Jays right now at this minus 105 even money. Blue Jays are hot. Before we get to the home run chart, Matt, I'm going to go to you and then I'm going to go to Amags. But I mean, this could be just some sort of long flash for them, but like how seriously do we need to consider them in terms of representing the AL in the World Series?
I actually have a bets column every Friday, and at the very end I have a future, and today I put Blue Jays to win the American League. They were plus 600. I forget which book I looked, but they were still behind 3 other teams. They were behind the Yankees, Astros, and Tigers. And I'm like, man, right now they look like the best team out of those. And there's a trade deadline coming up. They could shore up the pitching staff for sure. Probably need another starter. I don't know how much longer Eric Lauer is going to hold up. We never know how much longer Max Scherzer at his age is going to hold up. Maybe another bullpen arm, but they're going to be aggressive. This front office is going to go for it. And the offense, they're going to get back Santander probably in September. They're going to get back Andres Jimenez at second that can shift Ernie Clement back to third. Dalton Varsho is coming back in the outfield. I don't think they have any holes in the position player side. In fact, they're very deep. So I think the Blue Jays are very formidable.
Amags.
Yeah, I agree. And I think if you asked me a month ago, and I think I did answer this question a month or 2 ago, that I really didn't fully believe that they were for real. But now you really have to start to look at them as a very real contender. And I think that, Snyder makes a good point, right? We don't know how long Eric Lauer is going to hold up. We do have some solid bats that are coming back for this team, so that's very exciting. But they have to go get another pitcher. I think they will. I think there's some front offices that you look at around the trade deadline, and you're like, I don't know if they're going to do anything. But the Blue Jays have been one that have been rather active. They've wanted to spend. They wanted to go and get guys. So I think they will do that. And much to my chagrin, I do think the Yankees are in a little bit of trouble.
Fair enough. All right, let's get to the home run chart, and then we'll get to some questions, whether they be soccer, UFC, or baseball related. No surprise here. The SportsLine model top MLB home run plays at the top here. We've got Cal Raleigh plus 215, says the SportsLine model, which is just a crazy low number. Plus 270 are the real odds. So some value there. Riley Green plus 322 versus plus 500. You love to see that. And Willier Abreu plus 285 versus plus 400. So Riley Green, certainly the best of the bunch from just an odds differential standpoint. Sniper, when you look at these three names, do you like any of the three? And were there any other guys you wanted to shout out?
Yeah, I mean, I always love Raleigh. Wow. I was looking at Riley Green and I always love Raleigh. I love Riley Green too, but I was impressed with the Willier Abreu there at home at Fenway. He's got a lot of power, good natural talent. The Red Sox have some talented outfielders to the point that they are in the buyer category, but a lot of people are talking about them trading Jarren Duran. And also I wanted to add on there, Michael Busch of the Cubs, lefty, absolutely feasts on righties. Adrian Hauser, it correlates with my play on the Cubs run line.
Amags, anything to add?
Yeah, a couple things. I think that not only from this list, if you're going to look at just this list, I do think actually you should probably play Riley Green at that price. But Cal Raleigh, always a solid bet. But how about this? If you look to the game in St. Louis, you get Miles Michaelis, who relies more heavily on those fly balls for his outs. He actually, a couple of starts ago, when we saw him playing in that really positive hitting environment against the Cubs at Wrigley, he gave up 6 home runs. And tonight he faces a guy in Manny Machado that has a couple home runs against him in his career. I think that's a pretty good spot. And as well, you talk about crazy low numbers, Sia. Go take a look at what Aaron Judge's price is to hit a home run today. Plus 115. It looks like a money line bet.
Come on.
It's insane.
Nobody should take that.
He's got 4 home runs and 13 at-bats against Taijuan Walker. So I kind of understand it, I guess, a little bit.
That Yankees Phillies isn't the total like 10.5?
It should be some good hitting weather too.
I mean, Walker and the way Warren's been throwing right now, but Warren's way better.
It's 10.5. Okay, when you said Miles Michaelis, like alarms go off, Buckets, I'll get to you in just one second. I mean, auto fade, like, can I just take the Padres minus 130?
I agree. I actually think that the Padres are in a solid spot here. I was looking at it this morning. I don't think there's maybe a ton of value at like the minus 135 price, but I do think there's some value not only on the money line, but I did this. I took Blue Jays to score 3 runs, Padres to score 3 runs in a parlay minus 130 on DraftKings.
Okay. Interesting. Buckets, go ahead.
I just wanted to throw out there, it's not on the sheet there of the 3, but Addison Barger at plus 500 seems like a good look as well.
Hey, I agree with that, man. The left-handed hitters against Montero, I was actually looking at those lefties in Barger. You know what, Buckets, you probably have never seen. You've never seen him swing, but I know we don't have time right now. Go look up an Addison Barger home run on YouTube. His swing is of the most violent you will ever see, but it's incredible to watch.
Amags, you totally interrupted Buckets. He was about to give that exact analysis out. It's pretty rude.
Yes, I'm sure.
He also has 14 home runs in 271 ABs, so worth considering.
Buckets has a thing for violent swing. Jorge Soler, Buckets loves a frozen rope.
What is an AB, Buckets?
At bats.
Oh, very nice.
Wow, let's go. Buckets, we actually have a
PA
soccer question from Taj Omari. L, he says, hey, Buckets, what do you think about Barger? It's a Barger question for you. No, FC Zurich versus FC Sion, both teams to score.
Ooh, we're coming back into that Switzerland league that we love so much. I do like that, generally speaking, with the season just starting up. It's a little bit tricky, but have I ever said no to a both teams to score bet in the entirety of my footballing career? I have not. Let's rock it, Chaj. I'll take it with you.
Speaking of football, we are also Keith Byers days away from NFL season. Brasco, was there anything UFC related that you needed to respond to?
Yes, sir. Lightning round. First of all, shout out my hater, Tony Brooks, in the comments. Always be sure to say hi to your haters in the morning, guys. Then we also have questions about the main event. Super sketched out Robert Whittaker, legend of the middleweight division, taking on Reiner de Ritter, who's on a roll since coming into the UFC from one championship. Dog or pass for me, guys. De Ritter is a huge guy, super unorthodox and unpredictable. I love Bobby Knuckles, but I worry he'll get taken to the ground and get put in trouble, so it's a pass for me. And Sia, finally, Gippers is begging for the showdown. He's got Shara by decision. I think that Barrial is so hittable, man. Compared to his last opponent, he's going to be a punching bag for Shara. So, Gippers, I'm ready. It's been too long. Cue it up, Ben. It's going to be a showdown.
It's been a minute that we've had a showdown. Shout out to Gippers and Danny Brasco. You absolutely love to see it. Let's transition. We do have to get out of here in a minute, but Sniper, let's go to you. Anything baseball-wise that we might have missed?
I was hitting a lot of the baseball questions in the chat, but I got distracted because somebody said, what would be a good cat or a good pet name for a Bears fan? And I came up with Sweetness and Punky. Punky being because Jim McMahon was the Punky QB.
Oh, that's right.
And Sweetness is obviously Walter Payton's nickname. So
did have I mentioned this? I think I have, that Jim McMahon started following me on Twitter like years ago.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know.
He follows a lot of people.
Okay, fair enough. It's like,
no,
all right,
he's
really
somewhat
cool.
active though. So yeah.
Jeff Stenberg says, hi, Amags. Danny told me to say hi to my haters. Gosh, he's just always, the timing is beautiful. Okay, we do have to get to the recap screen. Buckets, anything to close this out here?
Nope.
All right. I want to read all of these comments. There's some really good comments coming in, but we can't because we're already at 30 minutes. Round 2, 3-ball, Emiliano Grillo. If you were distracted by my tie-tying or voting for best male-hosted podcast for the People's Choice Podcast Awards, then I'm just going to go ahead and give you the pick that I was giving out at the time. Emiliano Grillo plus 120 over Luke List and Zach Johnson. That's a round 2, 3-ball this afternoon. Buckets doesn't give me bad or difficult pronunciations. Absolutely love it. San Diego versus Nashville. Sam Surge to score or assist at plus 125. And Columbus Crew versus Orlando City. Crew over 1.5 team total at minus 135. Then we go to the Sniper Brewers minus 1.5 at even money. And the Cubs minus 1.5 at minus 104. Blue Jays money line says Amags at minus 105. Begrudgingly, he says that. Talked about maybe their futures odds as well. Don't forget to read all of the content, not just in the Discord, but on CBSSports.com that people like Snyper put out there. And then we go to UFC Carlos Leal by KO minus 125. Asu Almabayev money line minus 115. And Shara Mogomedov by KO minus 135. I got that kind of close there. And our top MLB home run plays, we go to Kyle Riley Green, and Wilyer Abreu. And then, of course, Sniper and Amags talked about a few other names. So if you fast forwarded to the end, you might want to go back and watch the whole show because a lot of baseball certainly peppered in there. When Buckets brings pronounceable team names, watch us on YouTube. A lot is going on YouTube. So if you listen to the podcast, a big thank you for that. But when you can, check out the live show or the replay of the live show, because there's definitely a lot of antics. Hopefully everybody had fun today. Thomas Mickles, Achilles, Ray Brown, John, Aaron Bailey is in here. Everybody, thank you for being in here. Big thank you to Amags, Danny Brasco, Mr. Baseball, Buckets, Esquire, and then, of course, Matt Snyder, a.k.a. the Sniper. And a huge thanks to Ben on the 1s and 2s and 9s and 10s, who somehow manages to control this show and sometimes pops on camera himself. Really good dude, really good crew right here. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Let's stay positive today. Let's be kind to anyone and everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Early Edge. We rest our case.